Switch to Strong. Silver Palace, a bold detective RPG in a steampunk city, Strong. Silver Palace is an upcoming open-world action role-playing game, ARPG, developed by Silver Studio and published by Strong Elementa, set in a strong Victorian-inspired industrial metropolis called Silvernia, Strong. The game combines elements of strong crime investigation, dynamic combat, exploration, party-based action, and narrative mystery to create a unique, hybrid experience that draws inspiration from both popular anime ARPGs and detective fiction tropes. Unlike many open-world RPGs that emphasize pure exploration or battle, Silver Palace appears to present itself foremost as a detective story. A narrative where strong deduction, clues, interrogations, and mystery solving play as important a role as swordplay and exploration. At its heart, the game centers on a strong detective who returns to Silvernia after a 3-year absence, drawn back by tragic personal events and a web of citywide mysteries that quickly unfold into far greater conspiracies than expected. The world of Silver Palace is one of strong contrasts. Silvernia is strong, beautiful, and bustling, a city transformed by the discovery of Silverium, a long-sought mystic resource that powered industrial revolutions, technological innovation, and societal transformation. However, underneath the gleaming steam and copper facades, corruption, power struggles, unseen cults, crime syndicates, and political intrigue lurk in dark alleys waiting to be uncovered. This review explores what Silver Palace is about, and how its many systems, story beats, and artistic ambitions come together, where it succeeds, where it struggles, and where it may be headed as we near its ultimate launch. Setting, story, and themes. At its core, Silver Palace is a narrative-driven detective adventure wrapped in an action RPG framework. The world of Silvernia. Silvernia, the game's central setting, is a sprawling Victorian-era city infused with magipunk and industrial aesthetics. Its skyline blends elegant neo-Victorian architecture with factory smokestacks and neon-tinged streets. Silverium, a mystical metallic element discovered only decades before, became the foundation of the city's prosperity and technological wonders. Its presence is ubiquitous, powering machinery, enhancing weapons, shaping social status, and even influencing magical practices. However, success has bred competition. Corporate empires, underground syndicates, royal factions, and religious cults now vie for control over Silverium and Silvernia itself. This juxtaposition, a city that is at once beautiful and corrupt, drives much of the narrative tension. The world building brilliantly sets a stage where beauty masks moral decay, giving a compelling backdrop for an investigative protagonist. The detective and the nameless Ashes case. Players take on the role simply referred to as the detective. This protagonist returns to Silvernia after a long absence under mysterious circumstances. Early in the narrative, we learn that the detective's sibling died, and their return is deeply personal, a quest fueled by grief, curiosity, and unfinished business. Soon after arrival, the detective becomes embroiled in a central mystery known as the Nameless Ashes case, a string of spontaneous combustion incidents that leave victims burned beyond recognition. These incidents appear linked to deeper conspiracies, hinting at hidden forces manipulating or exploiting Silvernium's properties. The game's story has been described by early players as one of the stronger narrative threads in recent ARPG contenders. Rather than relegating story to mere window dressing for combat and loot, Silver Palace aims to make investigation, deduction, and dialogue crucial gameplay pillars. Evidence boards, memory reconstruction, crime scene analysis, and witness interrogation are framed as active systems, not just cutscene beats. While narrative serves as the spine of Silver Palace, combat and gameplay mechanics flesh out its flesh. The game adopts a real-time, party-focused combat style, somewhat reminiscent of high-end gacha ARPGs, but with notable differences that give it personality. Combat in Silver Palace emphasizes fluidity, timing, and tactical character swaps. Players can command a party of up to 4 characters, each with unique abilities and roles, and can switch between them mid-combat to trigger combo chains, elemental or Silverian-based effects, and special maneuver executions. Some noteworthy features include parries and perfect dodges. Combat rewards players who master timing, enabling them to evade heavy attacks, counter effectively, and create openings. Stun and execution system. Enemies have a secondary gauge that, when depleted, allows for stunning them and performing a powerful execution attack, rewarding aggressive yet strategic play. Silver Drip and ambush skills. A unique mechanic where dealing damage and swapping actively builds Silver Drip segments. These are used for executing special ambush skills, explosive abilities that can turn the tide of battle. Catalysts and team synergies. Characters can equip multiple catalysts, gear that grants buffs, status effects, or element-linked bonuses. Building teams with compatible catalysts unlocks resonance effects and diversifies combat styles. This blend of real-time action with strategic swaps and layered systems gives the combat both depth and flexibility. Players can experiment with different team compositions, focusing on support builds, high-damage glass cannon approaches, or utility-oriented squads. Investigation and exploration. Where Silver Palace most distinguishes itself from other ARPGs is in its investigative gameplay. Rather than relegating story progression to simple quest markers, the game integrates mystery solving into its core loop. Forensic examination. The detective can search environments for clues, interact with objects, and examine crime scenes. This includes rotating 3D objects and analyzing subtle details in surroundings. NPC observation and interrogation. Talking to characters, reading their body language, and interrogating suspects is presented as part of the narrative process. These interactions often influence how clues piece together and can dictate subsequent plot outcomes. Danger radar system. Hidden enemies disguised as civilians can be uncovered using a specialized radar, seamlessly transitioning investigation into combat when things go awry. Evidence boards and Mind Palace. Post-investigation, players reflect on clues using interactive tools like evidence boards and a Mind Palace, a mental simulation space where deductions are visualized and hypotheses tested.